Week 5 is in the books. District races around the area starting to come into form as we kind of move deeper into district play. Dave Barry here with Rick Cantu and Danny Davis. And as always on these Mondays in football season, it's time to figure out what we learned in the week and give out some game balls to the area's best performers. Danny, let's start with you with what you learned from this past weekend.
I learned Hendrickson and Lake Travis. I saw them both. Hendrickson on Thursday, Lake Travis on Friday. Two very good teams, probably our best 5A teams we have in the area. It's very possible with them both, we're predicting them to go to Division II. They both could probably meet in the Division II quarterfinals if they keep playing the way they did. Lake Travis, 43-0 win over Bowie. Their defense has given up just a bit over 11 points per game. Sean Nixon is incredible. They lost that first game to Converse Judson, but it seems like that was a kick in the pants they needed. And then Hendrickson, we've talked a lot about their defensive standouts, but that offense, I counted it up. They've scored 37 offensive touchdowns this season. 12 of those touchdowns have been 40 yards or more. 10 of the touchdowns have been 10 yards or less. So they're explosive up short, explosive long. Samaje P. Ryan, Taj Malloy, Lane Griggs, Latrell Martin's back from, Craig Robert Shern. The list just goes on and on and on. A lot of talent on both those teams, and let's see if a couple months from now they're playing for a trip to the semifinals.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to see both those teams play once this year and blow out both games. Hendrickson blew out Leander, and as you said, I was at that Lake Travis game where they blew out Bowie just this past weekend. Rick, what'd you learn this week?
If I learned anything, I learned that this is still, despite those two great teams, this is still a 4A town. I added up some stats and I found out that the top 7 4A teams in the area are a combined 35-4. I think 2 or 3 of them have a chance to go all the way this year. We'll see.
In terms of play on the field this week, Rick, who gets your game ball for their performance this weekend?
Well, I had a hard time picking, but Ryan Heinrich.
All right.
It's rare that you get a defensive player, but I went to their game, Rouse, against Leander. He had 14 tackles, he had 3 sacks, and in the fourth quarter he had a big one-on-one stop on a 4th down play. They wound up winning the game 24-13, and he was all over the field.
Okay. Danny, who's your top player?
Crockett Jr. running back, Justin Miller. At this time last week we were talking about, was Crockett even going to be close to Travis? And not only were they close, they beat him by 25 points for their first one this season. Justin ran for over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Only had 14 carries, so he was pretty much running down the field. No one could touch him every single time he touched the ball. His classmate, I'm going to try to pronounce this right, Isaiah Green, had about 150 yards and 2 touchdowns too. So that's 2 junior running backs that Coach Wall has over there at Crockett. They have a pretty good future there, and if they can build off that momentum, we'll see against McCallum this week. But watch out for the Cougars.
Some great performances again around the Central Texas area this weekend. Stay with Statesman.com. We'll preview Week 6 coming up later in the week. We'll see you.